Let's actually show you this in action. So we're going to deploy box v1. We're going to get an address. We're going to use that proxy address to make sure that these functions work. We're going to then deploy box v2. We're going to point our proxy to box v2, which will essentially mean we upgraded our contract, and it's all going to be from the same address. So let's do this. We're going to make a little 2 scripts. We're going to make one called deploybox.s.sol and a new one called upgrade box.s.sol. So we're going to deploy the box, and then we're going to upgrade it. So let's deploy it. SPDX, you know the drill. License. Pragma, Solidity, 0.8.18. Contract, deploy, box is script. Import, script from forge std/script.sol. We're going to need to import box v1 from /src/box v1.sol. Function run external returns. I'm gonna return address, and you'll see why in a bit. Returns address proxy equals deploy box turn proxy, and I'm gonna create a deploy box function deploy box. So this is a little bit different. This will be a public returns address. And what we're going to do is say box v1 box equals new box v1. This is going to be our what? Our implementation. This is going to be our logic, right? This is where our proxy is going to point to delegate call, right? To borrow those functions. Now, we're going to need to get a proxy on top of this. The proxy that we're going to use is the ERC 1967 proxy. And we can learn more about this proxy in the Open Zeppelin documentation. We can learn more about this at the EIP for ERC 1976, whatever you want to do. But it's going to be this proxy that we're going to use to point to our implementation, right? To point to our box v1, which has all this upgradable logic in it. So we're going to import that. We're going to import ERC 1967 proxy from, and this is actually just a regular Open Zeppelin contract. So we're going to do forge install Open Zeppelin /Open Zeppelin contracts. This is just a regular one, contracts. Oops. --no -commit. We're going to go to our foundry.toml, and this is a remapping, comma, at Open Zeppelin /contracts equals lib /Open Zeppelin Open Zeppelin dash contracts. I think that's what it is, right? Lib Open Zeppelin contracts and Open Zeppelin contracts are upgradable. Okay, Open Zeppelin contracts /contracts like this, and port this from at Open Zeppelin /contracts /proxy /ERC 1967 like this. So this is the proxy type we're using. Now we're going to say ERC 1967 proxy equals new ERC 1967 proxy. And if we command click onto this or control click or just look at this, this does have a constructor. We pass in the logic and the data. So we basically say, hey, proxy, this address is going to be the implementation, the logic that you're going to use. And then any data you want to pass to the initializer, right? If we could look at upgrade to and call, we call upgrade to, and then if there's any initializers, call that afterwards, right? We're not going to have any initializer stuff, so we're not going to do that, but we're just going to say address box, because we just deployed this box, no data. This is where, like I said, this is where we put the initializer stuff we wanted, but then we're just going to say return address proxy. So cool. And let's just make sure stuff is working. Forge build, or at least we're going to make sure code is compiling and source file does not specify required compiler version. That's because we haven't implemented that. That's fine. Cool. This looks good. And we're going to write some tests to show you this actually working in a little bit.